Coming to you live from our studios in Auckland Park, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories. An unknown person has died following chaos that erupted at Walter Sisulu University's Nelson Mandela Drive campus in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. President Ramaphosa has commended the Eastern Cape for its investment projects it has initiated to boost the province's economy. And the Commission for the Promotion of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities has emboldened its resolve to confront allegations of abuse in the religious sector. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Paulette Nell. An absolute pleasure it is to be in your company this evening. An unknown person has been shot and killed during a protest at the Walter Sisulu University's campus in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. 2 others were injured and rushed to hospital. Aggrieved students were protesting over poor conditions at their residences on the campus when they were shot at, allegedly, by the university's residence manager.
While chasing away university officials who arrived for duty in the morning, a car believed to belong to the university's residence manager was set alight.
They said, when coming back from the KGP residence singing, he decided to come out with the gun and then he started shooting students. So we have got a lot of witnesses. So I don't even want to use allegedly because we saw what happened, so we know what happened.
The students were protesting over a number of unresolved issues.
Residences with no old residences that are not yet refurbished. They don't have water, hot water. There's no Wi-Fi in majority of in these residences. There's no stoves. There's no actual appliances such as stoves, fridges, and washing machines, which we are paying for.
Confirmed the death of 1 person during the unrest at the university.
This is being crafted with regard to all the incidents that took place within the institution. And further investigation will ensue because it is actually the one that will take us to effecting arrest finally.
Management has issued a statement condemning the unrest. They say the deceased was not a registered student at the university.
As registered, the university is trying to contain this whole situation. Possible that they deregistered the student 1 hour, they are lying.
Injured students have been discharged. The residence manager and his family are also reported to be receiving medical attention in hospital. Fundiswa Mhlekude, SABC News, Mthatha.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has commended the Eastern Cape for the investment projects it has initiated to boost the economy of the province through its ports and the Kucha Special Economic Zone. Ramaphosa was speaking during his 2-day oversight visit to the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro.
The port of Ngquja, a gateway to the Kucha Special Economic Zone. The harbour currently handles just more than 6 million tonnes of cargo per year, with 400 vessel calls. The 30-year forecast predicts cargo movements to reach 100 million tonnes per year. The Ngquja harbour is a deep-water port capable of handling modern cargo ships and started operating in 2009.
We can grow our economy enormously and make South Africa a hub in as far as the ocean's economy is concerned. And this being part of our ocean economy master plan.
The Eastern Cape has 3 active harbours, deemed a gold mine of maritime resource and potential. The Port Elizabeth Harbour is a manganese ore and vehicle shipment hub. East London is a general port with a car terminal.
This is our economic hub. A lot is happening here, but this lot needs all spheres of government to collaborate, work together, and everybody must do his or her work. If you are a mayor, you must understand what is it to be a mayor. If you are a premier, you must understand that exactly as well. So as the national government comes, we are also expecting them to tell us from where you are sitting in your own radar screen nationally, what do you think you are doing for Eastern Cape?
The Kucha Special Economic Zone was also part of the presidential visit. The SCZ recorded a total income of 25 billion in 2024 and an increase of 32.2% from the 18.9 billion in 2023.
I think we are the second highest producer of the various commodities in the agriculture. Kucha then has provided many solutions. I will just share a good story of farmers that are within this particular area that came to Kucha for a solution, saying we are in the dairy business, but we're not processing our milk. We would therefore like to have a solution for us to be able to process the milk so that while we are farming, but we're also involved in the actual processing. Kucha Dairy to date, I think they turn over millions of rands. They have created employment of over thousands of people.
The presidential visit will conclude with a cabinet meeting that will include provincial and municipal leaders in Gqeberha. Lerato Fekisi, SABC News, Gqeberha.
Welcome back. Now for this, the Commission for the Promotion of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities has emboldened its resolve to confront allegations of abuse in the religious sector. The Section 22 committee is expected to begin its work in a month's time.
So the CRL Commission says it continues to receive complaints of abuse, spiritual transgressions and abuse of religious freedom, as there is no body monitoring the sector. Well, the Section 22 Commission for the Christian sector will now begin conducting extensive research in provinces around the country on the abuse of congregants and overall conduct of church leaders.
Their behaviors that are unbecoming, inappropriate, unsuitable, sometimes even indecent, that happens within churches in this country. Who is monitoring that? Who is making sure that those things don't happen? Even putting aside the illegal part, no one in this country knows how many religious leaders we have, how many churches we have, where they are, what is happening there. We're setting up what we call a Section 22 committee because it draws its powers from Section 22 of the Act.
And that committee will be led by Professor Musa Xulu.
Unfortunately, and society is aware that part of the practices within the Christian faith, especially, where there is no monitoring, usually the one person kind of religious enterprise is most of the time found to be followed by spiritual transgressions. And spiritual transgressions, because they are sometimes intangible.
Well, the committee has been given a year to conduct its work and report back. Crisalda Lewis, SABC News in Johannesburg.
The reopened inquest into the death of ANC leader Chief Albert Lutuli has heard that the original inquest, which magistrate wrote to the Secretary of Justice that he foresees a finding of accidental death even before the inquest, was held in 1967. That inquest found that Lutuli died after being hit by a goods train, a finding that the Lutuli family never accepted.
Day 2 of the inquest into the death of Lutuli, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate and former ANC president, senior investigator Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Steyn revealed in his testimony that he had found a letter written by the magistrate who presided over the original inquest to the Secretary of Justice that predetermined the outcome of the hearing. The letter was part of a 600-page document obtained by investigators from the National Archives Centre.
It was, the newspaper clippings came from various newspapers, daily newspapers, English newspapers, Afrikaans newspapers, and there are numerous newspaper clippings.
Steyn also testified that he had attempted to find the original witnesses, the conductor and the driver of the train, involved in Lutuli's death, but to no avail. They had submitted affidavits in the original inquest. Montle told the inquest that he had viewed the train. The NPA also presented still photograph of the said train.
What transpired is, initially I contacted Transnet, Transwerk, Hoornet to inquire about this train.
Yes.
Most of those trains, they are either placed somewhere in a museum or they are donated for some other use. So unfortunately, my inquiries were met with negative results.
Meanwhile, Lutuli's daughter-in-law, Wilhelmina Lutuli, told the court that the apartheid regime intentionally ignored crucial information about Lutuli's death. She was the last person to see him before he left his home on the day of his death.
The family never believed his untimely death was an accident. We could never reconcile his injuries with a collision with the train.
The witness further told the court that Lutuli was in good health before his death, contrary to some newspaper reports at the time. Simpiwa Makanya, SABC News, Pietermaritzburg.
Thank you for staying with us. And now for this, Mcabisi Jonas's appointment as a special envoy to the United States has been widely welcomed for being a seasoned politician, for his technical expertise and his previous experience as a special envoy on investments. President Cyril Ramaphosa appointed Jonas in a move to mend relations and strengthen diplomatic ties between South Africa and the United States.
Jonas will have the responsibility to advance the country's diplomatic, trade and bilateral priorities. In a statement, the presidency says he will lead negotiations, foster strategic partnerships and engage with the U.S. government officials and private sector leaders to promote South Africa's interests. Jonas is a respected politician and has previously served as Deputy Finance Minister and one of 4 presidential investment envoys appointed by the President in 2018 to facilitate investment into South Africa. He is currently the independent non-executive chairman of the MTN Group, a role he will maintain alongside his responsibilities as special envoy. Jonas is also known for his integrity after he came forward to confirm that members of the Gupta family offered him the job of the finance minister. He later testified at the Zondo Commission that he was also offered 600 million rand bribe by the Guptas in a bid to buy him to further their impropriety during the state capture era.
If we look into his government policies, formulations, stuff like that, he's got the necessary background. If you look into business, the guy's been into business, yes, as much as the number of years he spent into business are not the same as the one that he did spend as a politician or as a government official. And I think probably this will work well. And the reason I'm saying that even business, South Africa, they're happy with the kind of the appointment.
Business has welcomed Jonas's appointment.
Well, there's no doubt that we need a special envoy, and the President has demonstrated quite clearly his commitment to a reset of the relationship with the United States. And I would argue that is absolutely crucial at this moment in time when jobs is our primary focus as a country, and the partnership between business and government underscores that critical issue. And the United States is a key trading and investment partner, let alone the broader influence that it has around the world.
Jonas's appointment has seen some questioning if he would be welcomed in the United States following a video recorded at a 2020 Ahmed Kathrada annual lecture where he referred to Donald Trump as a narcissistic right-winger, a racist and a homophobe. Gloria Sefako, SABC News, Johannesburg.
International Relations and Cooperation Minister Ronald Lamula says that South Africa will continue to strengthen its bilateral relations with Russia. Lamula addressed the South Africa-Russia Business Forum in Moscow.
Russia remains one of South Africa's central allies, especially in the ever-shifting geopolitical landscape. The two nations are keen to shape the world order based on multipolar principles.
We want to continue with this strengthening of our bilateral relations with Russia, and we will also engage on a number of geopolitical issues. As you are aware, South Africa played a key role in the Africa Peace Initiative for Russia to be invited to be on the table of any peace formula or negotiation with regards to the conflict with Ukraine. So we'll also continue to exchange ideas on that, but also on the Agenda 2063, it's our contribution to silencing the guns in the continent, and also the role that both countries can collaborate in at BRICS to contribute to various initiatives that are aimed for the development of the Global South, including collaboration at the G20 level and also at other multilateral forums like the UN, the WTO, and many other forums that remains very important, particularly at this stage where unilateralism is raising its head again in global affairs.
Minister Lamola also paid a courtesy visit to the memorial centers in Moscow dedicated to the South African freedom fighters J.B. Marks and Moses Kotane.
We are here in remembrance of Moses Kotane and J.B. Marks, people who have been very heroic in their role in placing and fighting for freedom in our country. We will also use this context, as you are aware, to continue to renew our bilateral relations with the Russian Federation in relations to many aspects of the economy, agriculture, space exploration, natural resources, digital technologies, you name it. We want to continue to strengthen the existing relationship between the two countries that its foundation was laid by the blood of our fallen heroes like J.B. Marks and Moses Kotane, who are lying here.
Meanwhile, Moscow and Pretoria, key members of BRICS, G20 and other key multilateral bodies. Kylie Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, that concludes our time together this evening. We now leave you with the weather forecast. Until next time, it's good night and God bless.
Thank you very much, and a very warm welcome once again to the weather desk. It remains cloudy and rainy over the central interior of South Africa this afternoon and towards the eastern provinces. Some partly cloudy skies over Limpopo and cloudy skies all over KwaZulu-Natal with an 80% probability of rainfall expected for the remainder of today. Across the central interior, we're expecting up to 60% probability of thunder showers for this afternoon. Some fog patches in the morning throughout KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga, and snowfall is also expected over the eastern high-lying areas of Lesotho. Widespread rainfall throughout KwaZulu-Natal and the wild coast of the Eastern Cape. Otherwise, scattered thunder showers can be expected here as well in the Gauteng province. And for this afternoon, a level 4 warning is in place of heavy rainfall throughout KwaZulu-Natal and the southern highveld of Mpumalanga. And we're also expecting some severe thunderstorms over the northern interior of South Africa for today. And for tomorrow, expecting more chances of heavy rainfall over the wild coast of the Eastern Cape and throughout KwaZulu-Natal. And we may see localized flooding in these parts of South Africa for tomorrow afternoon. So please be on the lookout and avoid unnecessary fires in these parts of South Africa. Johannesburg will peak at 22 for tomorrow afternoon, and a maximum of 25 is expected over Pretoria. And Limpopo expecting a high of 29 for Musina and 24 over Polokwane, with a 60% probability of thunder showers also expected in these parts of South Africa. In Mpumalanga, it is raining over the southern highveld of this province. Temperatures are also mild in Emelo, only reaching a high of 19 degrees. And in KwaZulu-Natal, there is a chance of snowfalls for tomorrow night in the Drakensberg region of this province. A temperature of 10 degrees in the morning for Kokstad and only reaching 40 degrees as a maximum temperature in the afternoon. In the Eastern Cape, a high of 19 for Komani and 17 degrees over Malitswai. In the Western Cape, there's no chance of rainfall for this province. Temperature will peak at 21 for Laingsburg and a similar temperature over the city of Cape Town. And cold conditions in the morning over Sutherland at a minimum of 3 and only rising to 19, but a temperature of 24 degrees can be expected over Kuruman. And mild weather conditions throughout the Free State with a temperature of 20 in Bloemfontein and 22 over Bothaville. And lastly, in the northwest, we're expecting some partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 24 for Mahikeng and a pleasant 27 degrees over Tosca for tomorrow afternoon. And that is all from the weather desk.